Bless them with knowledge, with everything that they need to support us through this pandemic season, oh God. We thank you for our teacher who is coming to teach us now. Come and bless him with knowledge and wisdom so that he can speak whatever thing that we need to understand and pick up something that we shall go back and at least put when we go back, when they reopen schools, oh God, Father, come and be with us from the start of this lesson to the end. I pray all this, believing you have heard in Jesus Christ, our Lord, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for that elaborate prayer. And indeed, thank you, Edify. We are grateful to Edify that is enabling this open, and then the Christian Schools Owners Association. They're all partners. Anitao is also working hand in hand with these organizations to make it possible. I know now you are reasonable students, you have edge, you have seen and heard that schools will open next year, and the opening is dependent on the vaccination. Some of you have stayed home for more than 2 years without being promoted. Someone was actually making fun that I am in senior 3, second year, because they have been home for a very long time. So let us use this opportunity to learn and at least remain focused. We need to be focused. We need to accept that this pandemic is here, and we are trying to use all sources of information and all sources of linkage between the student and the teacher. So let us be grateful and be disciplined while we are while we are at school. Now, this is our only school open. So I want someone to remind us what we looked at last week. After reminding us of what we looked at last week, we should also be able to so much remind us, what did we say about some of those things? What are the rules that apply? Those are things that I want us to remind ourselves. Yes, Liam, hope you're okay.
Yes, teacher. I'm good. So last week we looked at general report.
General report last week?
Yes.
You missed the lesson.
Did I? Okay.
You must have.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. There's after the general report, I remember I introduced paper 2. Any other student who can tell us what we looked at last week? What did we look at last week? Collins.
Teacher, we looked about summary writing.
Yes, we looked at summary writing. What did we say about summary writing? What are some of the rules you can remember?
We looked about paragraphing.
What did we say about paragraphing?
Said we can only have 2 paragraphs if we have 2 separate questions.
And then
we can only have we can have one paragraph if we are given 1 question.
Even if it has 2?
And if it has 2 parts.
In one, yes, that is true. But thank you so much, Patricia. Is it Patricia? Is it Angel? Is it Colin?
I'm Patricia.
Okay, Patricia, thank you. And the Collins, I hope they're also attending.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Okay. Rana, Sabiho.
We said it must have a title where the title is derived from the question.
Thank you so much. We said it must have a title, and the title is derived from the question. That is very true. Any other person who can remind us something we talked about summary writing? There's something I have not had, and yet it's core. Yes, we are reminding Fahira.
Sir,
Yes, I
sir,
can hear you.
it must have a rough copy and a fair copy.
Very much so. It must have a fair copy and a rough copy. And just like the English words are, a fair copy must be fine without any traces of crossing, among other things. You must make sure that your rough copy is where you play around with. So I remember giving a passage which we didn't complete. So that's the passage we are going to do today. I hope those who read it and finished were able to complete, but also for those who haven't, we are going to reread the passage. We shall begin with the question, and then literally we go and pick out the points. That's what we shall do today. So we shall create a rough copy, and then I will give you the task of doing the fair copy. You write the fair copy, and then we shall send it as our work, final work, and I see how you have attempted it. So that's the passage we are going to read, but I want us to begin with the question. Shall begin with the question. Those who are willing to share with us, by show of hands, if you're willing to read, just put up your hand. Those who are ready to read, you can put up your hand. Okay. Okay, Liam, you're going to read for us the question.
In not more than 120 words, explain the roles played by the father and the girls in the African social system.
Okay, explain the roles played by the father and the girls in the African social system. That is the question. So when we are reading, your role as a student, or the part you're supposed to play, role of a father, you write. Whenever you see a role of a girl in the African society, you write. So that when we begin picking out the points, we shall go paragraph by paragraph while we are picking out the points we need. Okay, so I will have someone read for us now the actual passage. For here, are you on?
Yes, sir, I'm on.
All right, so you're going to read for us the passage starting from the very first one, the first page. Sorry. There you go.
Sir, okay. Read the passage below and answer the questions that follow.
Here.
Read the passage below and answer the questions that follow. The family is a basic unit of society and it is the heart of African social systems. It is jealously guarded and protected by law in all African countries. The effectiveness of legal provisions, however, depends on the community in which it is operating and the various social, economic, and political factors that interact in the community. In most traditional African families, the father is the head of the family with unquestionable authority over his wife and children, who have to obey his orders. He is the chief custodian of the family and ensures that it is secure. In certain countries, he not only decides what is to be done, but is involved in details such as shopping, even buying of clothes for his wife or wives. As the case may be, and children, the father selecting a wife for his son from the same tribe and from the family that enjoys a similar status, or if possible, a higher one. In some tribal groups, the family of the wife to be demands order. Sometimes these practices ruin a family, since they even go into debts in order to conform into the demands of the social customs of the tribe. Polygamy is a symbol of wealth and higher status among certain tribal groups, and do persist in many parts of rural Africa. Despite legislations that do away with polygamy and institute monogamy. The main purpose of marriage in traditional society is to get sons and daughters. The parents of the girls don't conceive that girls might do anything than marry, bear children, and manage the domestic chores of cooking for the family, keeping the house clean, and attending to other household activities. In consequence, girls received none or very little formal education through schools. The fact that bearing children is viewed as the primary vocation for girls, and that once married, they belong to their husband's family, leads to a situation where sons are preferred to daughters. Having many sons, in fact, becomes prerequisite for lasting and happy marriages. Besides, the wife's wealth, beauty, or even social standing are to no avail if she is not a mother of many sons. From birth, a girl is accepted with reluctancy, and if she is not married early, she is a fear that she will be a disgrace to the family. In rural Africa, there is so much land for a newly married couple to build their own house next to a man's family and live under the authority of the father. They take care of the old, orphaned, and sick within the extended patriarchal family. If a certain problem arose that was beyond the competence of the family, then the tribal chief and the leaders of the village will take it over and solve it their own way.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for reading for us. Usually we shall have as many readings as possible, but because of time, we shall have 2 readings. So you have read, after reading, it's okay to mute your microphone. That is the recommended thing. And then you wait for more instructions. Okay, so we shall have the second reading from Moronji Davis. I hope Moronji Davis is a boy. Moronji Davis?
Yes,
okay.
teacher.
Okay, just a minute, you read for us. You take us through the second reading after I've made a few comments. Is that okay?
Yes, teacher.
So you stay on call. Okay, so, all right, going after the first reading and the second reading, each time you're reading, you try to underline those points or to write them down. The roles of a parent, the roles of the girl child in the African community or in the African society. So that is your role as a student each time, so that you make your work easy. And it's the reason we keep reading so many times, for you to be able to derive the points needed. So to begin with, if we last time, I think we came up with a title. What was our title for this passage? before we continue, what was the title we agreed on? Did we derive a title? Now we should be thinking also of the title. What title shall we use for this passage? So those are the things while we are going to take the second reading that we should be thinking about. For here, you had the title. Had you come up with one?
We can use a title of, like, so when we are writing a rough copy, we can say roles of the father and a girl in an African society.
Thank you very much.
Okay, roles, that is for here. She says roles of Africa, roles of the father and the girl in African society. Olivia. Olivia. Victoria. Olivia. Okay, it seems they have network issues. Please look for good network areas within your household, within the house, and then Jabi.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Title, what can you suggest for title? Okay, it seems he has issues with his network. Let me take on Victoria. Her hand is again up. Yes, Victoria. Those who can type the title, you can type into the chat. You can simply type it into the chat. For those who have network issues, I think Victoria also has a bit of network issues. So our second reading, for if we have failed to pick it now, we can take a second reading and we look for the title together as a group. So the person who was supposed to read, where are you? The person who was supposed to do my second reading, Davis Moronji, yes. Moronji, here you are.
Yes, teacher.
Second reading.
Yes. Read the passage below and answer the questions that follow. The family is a basic unit of the society, and it is the heart of African social systems. It is generously regarded and protected by law in all African countries. The effectiveness of legal provisions, however, depends on the community in which it is operating and the various social, economic, and political factors that interact in the community. In most traditional African families, the father is the head of the family with unquestionable authority over his wife and children who have to obey his orders. He is the chief custodian of the family and ensures that it is secure. In certain countries, he not only decides what is to be done, but is involved in details such as shopping, even buying of clothes for his wife or wives, as the case may be, and children, the father selecting a wife for his son from the same tribe and from the family that enjoys a similar status, or if possible, a higher one. In some tribal groups, the family of the wife-to-be demands order. Sometimes these practices ruin a family, since they even go into debts in order to conform into the demands of the social customs of the tribe. Polygamy is a symbol of wealth and higher status among certain tribal groups and do persist in many parts.
Moronje,
Yes.
I have a
Teacher.
problem with the crying baby at the background. Could you look for a quiet place for us to have a meaningful interaction?
Okay, teacher.
You move away while reading.
Polygamy is a symbol of wealth and higher status among certain tribal groups and do persist in many parts of rural Africa despite legislations that do away with polygamy and institute monogamy. The main purpose of marriage in traditional society is to get sons and daughters. The parents of the girls don't conceive that girls might do anything than marry, bear children, and manage the domestic chores of cooking for the family, keeping the house clean, and attending to other household activities. In consequence, girls received none or very little formal education through schools. The fact that bearing children is viewed as the primary vocation for girls, and that once married, they belong to their husband's family, leads to a situation where sons are preferred to daughters. Having many sons, in fact, becomes prerequisite for lasting and happy marriages. Besides, the wife's wealth, beauty, or even social standing are to no avail if she is not a mother of many sons. From birth, a girl is accepted with reluctance, and if she is not married early, there is fear that she will be a disgrace to the family. In rural Africa, there is so much land for a newly married couple to build their own house next to a man's family and live under the authority of the father. They take care of the orphan within. If a certain problem arose that was beyond the competence of the family, then the tribal chief and the leaders of the village will take it over and solve it their own way.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. We already know the topic and the question. Now our first task is to derive the title. Okay, Olivia has given us the correct title. The roles played by the father and not the mother. The question is father and girls. Olivia, edit from mothers to girls. The roles played by the father and the girls in the African social system. Olivia's title would be correct. The only problem is she has put mother in the place of girls. So we shall take that title. The article "the." Who can remind me of the article "the"? How many articles do we have? Who can remind me of the articles we have and their functions? Yes. Anyone who can remind me of the articles we have? No one remembers the articles. Claire, what articles do you remember? Fahia, Anzoa, Milia. Yes, Milia.
Article "the",
What is the importance of
Article "and".
articles? We
It
have
is used to
the two
to
categories.
describe the
Where do they
noun.
belong? Where do they belong?
Two categories
Yes,
of article "the".
of articles generally. We have the definite article and the indefinite article.
I don't know.
You don't know, okay. We have definite and indefinite. So the article "the", you are going to tell us, what does it do? What does the article "the" do?
It describes the nouns.
Okay. Not really. Maybe just to remind us, the article "the" is usually, it falls under what we call the definite article. It talks about a particular item. If we say the boy as opposed to a boy, an apple as opposed to the apple, the speaks about a particular unknown apple. Then even here, when we are dealing with them, yes, we have seen people sharing foibe, we are seeing and the. The is a definite article. So when we are giving usually the title, we are encouraged to use the definite article "the". It helps us to focus on only those that are mentioned in the passage. So here we shall not about any other roles, but the ones that are mentioned in this passage. So do not bring any other role you know outside. For example, if your father does other things like bathing children at home, don't bring it here and say, fathers bathe children. No, here we strictly want those ones that are here, the ones that have been mentioned in this passage. That's what we want. So we shall take the title, "The Roles Played by the Father and the Girls in African Tradition." That is our title. Now let us go to picking our points. Now let us, in our rough summary or in our rough copy, can we begin putting out the roles of the father? That is what we were doing last time before time caught up with us. So that's what we are going to do today, to pull out those roles played by the father. I will have someone read for us, and then I say pause, then we extract those points from there. JB, are you willing to read for us? Let me take another person.
Yeah.
Okay. JB is willing to read for us. So you
So,
read for us. You read for us the first, what I display, you read for us. Then as a class, we extract the points. We shall begin with only the roles of the father, and then later on we shall also deal with the roles of the girls. So read for us.
the family is a basic unit of society, and it is the heart of African social systems. It is religiously guarded and protected by law in all African countries. The effectiveness of legal provision depends on the community. in which it is operating and the various social, economic, and political factors that interact with.
Okay, which points have we there? Do we have any points in that first paragraph? Jabi, you can mute, then I call back. For here, do we have any points there? Have they mentioned?
I'm not seeing any point of a role of a father.
Okay, so if we are not seeing the point of the role of a father, we continue reading. That is what we shall be doing. Maybe Martin is seeing. Martin, Eunice, and Concy, are you seeing any point on the roles of a father yet in that first paragraph? Yes? Because your hands are up. Okay, we shall assume they are also not seeing a point. Then we go to the next paragraph. Jabi, where are you? You put up your hand so that I can pick you on you again. Okay. Jabi, where are you? Okay. Unmute.
Yeah.
Continue reading for us.
In most traditional families, the father is the head of the family with the unquestionable authority over his wife and children who have to obey his orders. He is the chief custodian of the family and ensures that it is secure. In certain countries, he not only decides what is to be done, but is involved in details such as shopping, even buying of clothes for his wife or wives, as the case may be, and children, the father selecting a wife for his son from the same tribe and from the family that enjoys a similar status.
Okay, so let us now look at that paragraph and pull out as many points as we see. We should not leave out any point, and let's pull them out in order. Let's pull them out in order. Shayla. Was network. Casper, are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
The father is the head of the family with unquestionable authority over his wife and the children. There.
Okay, so the point, wait, what is exactly the point? Tell us the point.
Head of the family with unquestionable authority.
Okay, the role of a father is here. The head of the family with unquestionable authority. That is the first point. Next point. You can mute Shayla. I will take Liam.
Teacher, he is the chief custodian of the family and ensures its security.
Those are 2 points. You can simply say he is the chief custodian of their family, full stop. Then the next point is he ensures its security, or he ensures that it is secure. Next point. Thank you. Next point, just in order so that we do not miss out any point. Noreen.
He does shopping and buying of clothes for his wives or children.
Okay, the point here is he is involved in shopping. Then the other point is buying of clothes for his wife or wives. So shopping is a different point, and buying clothing and for his wife or wives is also another point. I hope you are writing those points down, because that is what you'll use to produce for me a rough copy, and then I want to see a fair copy. Okay, next point. Next point, let me see, Isaac.
The father selecting a wife for his son from the same tribe.
Okay, however, the tense, we shall use present tense here, present simple. The father selects a wife for his son from the same tribe or from a family that enjoys similar status. The point is selecting a wife for his son. How many points have we so far written down? How many points so far have we written down? Those who have been noting. Shayla, how many points have we written?
5 points.
Are you sure?
Yes.
We have more than 5 points, even when I've not written them down. Can you mention those ones? Head of the family is our first point. The next point, chief custodian of his family. That is the second point. Third point, he ensures the security of his family. The next point, he decides what is to be done. In certain countries, he not only decides, so this is another point, he decides what is to be done at home. He is involved in shopping. He's also involved in the buying of clothes, or he buys clothes for his wife or wives, whatever the case may be. Then the other point is he selects a wife for his son. So if you have 5 points, no, you have very few points. Okay, let us continue. We go back to Jebbi. Jebbi was reading for us. We are now going to the next paragraph with Jebbi reading for us. Where is Jebbi? Jebbi, come in.
Yes.
Continue.
In some tribal groups, the family of the wife to be demands order. Sometimes these practices ruin a family, since they even go into debts in order to conform into the demands of the social customs of the tribe. Polygamy is a symbol of wealth and higher status among certain tribal groups, and to persist in many parts of rural Africa, despite legislations that do away with polygamy and institute monogamy.
Okay, thank you. Liam, you had a question. You can ask your question. Liam, put up your hand, then you ask your question. You will first, if you've seen any point here, you let us know. Then also you ask your question.
Yes, teacher. My question is in the second paragraph.
Yes.
Yeah, there was this point of head of the family. Then there's also decides what is to be done somewhere. And I think both of them mean the same. It's not repetition.
And now, head of a family is general. Are we together? Head of a family is general. There are other particular things we're looking at there is, and now under those are different points. Even the way they have been stated, you can clearly see. Are we together? So it's not the same. Otherwise, all these things are done by the head of the family. But for us, the way they have been stated here, they are representing different points. Is that okay?
Yes.
Have you seen any point here about the roles of a father in this paragraph? Yes? Class, anyone who has seen a point there? Anyone who has seen the roles of a parent under that paragraph that JB, have you seen any point about the role of a parent there? JB? Yes, JB?
No, like I haven't.
Okay, so here they are just explaining to us the structure of family standing. Are we together? That in some tribal groups, the family of the wife to be demands order. Remember, after the father selecting the wife. So here, I have not seen any point unless Annette has seen, she can tell us. Annette Mbatude. Hope I pronounced it well, Annette. Annette. Okay, if we have not seen any point, then JB. Casper.
Teacher.
Yes.
But I'm seeing a point, eh?
Where?
Like when they say in order to conform into the demands of the social custom, isn't that a role, a duty?
What is the duty now? Of who now exactly?
Of the father.
What is to conform or confirm?
I think like maybe.
Okay, what is the discussion in this paragraph? What have you understood?
I've understood like the father goes to choose a wife for the son, eh? So after choosing the wife, he has to pay those things like that, eh? For the wife, for the son's wife, actually.
What are those practices that may ruin? What is to ruin?
Maybe to spoil, like that.
If you look at the point from up here, we are told, I want you to look at this last bit, that the father chooses a wife for his son from the same tribe or from a family that enjoys similar status or possibly higher one. So here they are explaining to us the effects of a father choosing a wife from usually the higher one or the same status. It means that the father most times has to spend a lot of money, which may ruin his own family. So it is not a role. These are just effects. Are we together?
Okay.
These are effects of you choosing a daughter-in-law from a richer family.
Yeah, I've understood now.
Okay, let us continue to the next paragraph. We shall begin from there. Casper can read for us as well. Casper, are you there?
Okay, I just forgot, eh? Just like that.
Okay. JB. JB.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yes. The main purpose of marriage in traditional society is to get sons and daughters. The parents of the girls don't conceive that girls might do anything than marriage, bear children, and manage the domestic chores of cooking for the family, keeping the house clean, and attending to other household activities. In consequence, girls receive none or very little formal education through schools.
Okay, students, what are the roles of a girl that have been mentioned here as per the African tradition? What are those roles that have been mentioned? What are those roles, Annette? What is that first role you've seen in order?
The girl has to prepare food and to take over the activities at home.
Or in order, okay, fine, that is mentioned, that is true. Let us take them in order as well. It would be good to have them in order. Mirembe, blessed. Yes, Mirembe.
To get married.
The
Get
first
married.
point, yes. The first role of a girl in African tradition that has been mentioned here is to get married. The next role, Birunji.
To bear children.
Thank you so much. The next role of children, of a girl child, is to bear children. That is very true. The next role, Eve, Iraq. Yes, Eve.
Managing the domestic chores. Managing the domestic chores of clean for the family.
Good, thank you so much. A girl is also supposed to play a role of managing domestic chores. We are told here clearly that she manages domestic chores of cooking for the family. The next role she does, promise.
She keeps the house clean.
She keeps the house clean. The next one, thank you so much. The next one, Liam, you are getting lost. Where are you? Which other role has been mentioned there? Let me take Anzoa. Yes, Anzoa.
Attending to other household activities.
Attending to other household activities that may not have been mentioned. That is true. Do you have any other point remaining? Any other point remaining? Martin, Consi, and Eunice. Ankunda, do you have any other point? It seems this one's hands are naturally up. Let me lower them. Okay, thank you so much. We have that ongoing. Next paragraph. Today, I don't want time to catch up with us. JB. JB.
Yes.
Continue.
The fact that bearing children is viewed as the primary vocation for girls, and that once married, they belong to their husband's family, leads to a situation where sons are preferred to daughters. Having many sons, in fact, becomes
a prerequisite.
Becomes
a prerequisite. Prerequisite.
For a prerequisite for lasting. Okay, so for lasting and happy marriages, besides the wife's wealth, beauty, or even social standing, are to no avail.
Send that person away.
Yes, some around.
Send the person
no
disturbing you away.
No, the person has moved out.
Okay.
Yeah. Besides the wife's wealth, beauty, or even social standing are to no avail if she is not a mother of many sons. From birth, a girl is accepted with their
Okay, I'm officially switching off JB. Let me get another serious student. Promise, come in and help us.
From birth, a girl is accepted with reluctancy, and if she is not married early, there is a fear that she will be a disgrace to the family. Hello, teacher.
Yes, it's okay there. Continue.
In rural Africa, there is so much land for a newly married couple to build their own house next to a man's family, and live under the shadowed authority of the father. They take care of the old, orphaned, and sick within the extended patriarchal family. If a certain problem arose that was beyond the competence of the family, then the tribal chief and the leaders of the village will take it over and solve it their own way.
Do we have any point? Do we have any point? Those who have seen a point, you let us know. Yes. Yes, class, which point have you seen? Just below your hand, I'm not going to choose you today, maybe tomorrow. I'm upset with you. Which role have you seen here for here?
Sir, a girl takes care of the old, orphaned, and sick within the extended patriarchal family.
Okay, now you can separate them. Are we together? That she takes care of the old, that is a point, of the
Orphaned.
sick, the orphaned, and the old.
Okay, sir.
That is a good one. What is the role of the father there? Which other role of a father do you see there? Anzo? Anzo?
Yes, teacher.
What's the role of a father?
Shadowed authority.
I beg your pardon?
Shadowed authority.
They shadowed the authority. Where is that? What does that mean when you say shadowed the authority? I want us to look at the first here. In rural Africa, there is so much land for the newly married. A couple to build their house next to a man's family. So who do you think gives out that land?
Father.
Yes, that can be a role, that the father gives his son land to settle in. The other point you can also see here is that sons live under the authority of the father. So what does the father do? The father rules over the son or the newly married. So those are the points we can have. I hope we have understood. Those are the additional points we can have. So it is now your role as a student to put them together into, I've already given you the title. I have already given you the points that are supposed to be put under rough copy and fair copy. So it is now your role as a student to write out for me the fair copy, the rough copy and the fair copy. I will set a question that will enable you to answer that part.
Okay.
So class, can someone come in, and if in case you have any question, this is the point where you can raise your hand and then you ask any question. For here, your hand is up.
So I have a question.
Shoot.
When you're writing a rough or a fair copy, when writing your points, you have to, every point it's a paragraph, or you just have to use a comma?
We said this question requires only one paragraph. Okay. Are we together?
Yes.
For example, I can give you maybe an introduction to it. Last time when I was giving you notes, I remember telling you that do not list your points. If you find yourself saying the roles of the father include the following, just know you are in trouble. That is listing. I said you should straight away tell us that leads the family. Those are the points we mentioned. We said, let me go to the first paragraph and then maybe I can give you how to start. After writing your subtitle, your title, you come down in your first sentence, in the only paragraph you will write, you will tell us that a father is the head of the family, comma, what else does he do?
He has authority over his wife and children.
And that is still under the same thing because it's an explanation that we're told that the father is the head of the family with unquestionable authority. That is still the same point. The next point is here. So you say comma, comma, the chief custodian of the family.
Ensures security of the family.
So after telling me that the first point is that the father is the head of the family, comma, the chief custodian of the family, and he does what?
He ensures security
of his family, full stop. That is how you start. By so doing, I have not listed any point. I have simply stated them the right way. The highest number of points you can have is 4. Make sure you don't have more than 4 points in one sentence. You will not follow the actual punctuation rules.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. I repeat again, avoid finding yourself saying, these are the roles of a father and a girl. If you so do, you will find that you are listing points and I'll mark you out of a half. Eve.
Excuse me, teacher. Do we put the title in the rough copy?
Both the rough copy and the fair copy deserve titles, must have titles.
So do we list the points in the rough copy or we put it in
write them in, also write them in a paragraph. By so doing, you can be able to know which words to remove and which words to leave.
Okay.
But if you just list them, you will find that your rough copy, your fair copy is congested.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Tom. Tom where? Kariango.
Excuse me, sir.
You're excused.
Sir, how many punctuations do I need to put in my summary?
How many do you know? How many do you know?
Like 2.
Which ones and which ones? What is punctuation?
Yes.
What is a punctuation? What is to punctuate? Okay.
So I'm not getting you.
What do you mean by how many punctuations should we have? Because I cannot dictate. There are like, so many
like commas, what? Like those ones.
Like commas and what? I don't know the what is, but what I know is you can have a point, comma, you put a point, comma, a point, a conjunction, and a point. That is why you can have 4 points in one. However, you can also have a point, a conjunction, a point. You can also have a point, comma, point, a conjunction, point.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
And the only conjunction I would recommend, or majorly the conjunction I would recommend, which helps you to save the number of words, is and, because and connects points of the same category. Don't find yourself using as well as. Those are very many words. You will be running out of the word limit. So avoid using those conjunctions which are very wide.
Okay.
Okay, Liam. Oh, there is Peter Gidudu. Guy Dudu.
Yes. Excuse me, sir.
You're excused.
My question is in relation to the extra points in the last paragraph. The role of the girl, where I say that she's responsible to take care of the sick. When I read through that part, I do not see any specification saying that it's the girl. According to it, from what I get, from what I understand from it, it says the family in general. So why is it that we specified that role to the girl?
At the end of the day, we are talking about the young family that is started. Are we together?
Yes.
So the fact that that young family is for the girl and the son to the what? The son of the so-called father. So we can count it under the girl, because there is no way you alone can look after your mother if you're married to a girl. So we shall put those points under her. Are we together?
Okay.
That
Yes,
she
sir.
helps to attend to the old people, which is usually the thing. Most times when my mother falls sick, it is not me so much to nurse, but it's my wife expected to be in the hospital. So even to cook and to do other things, we would think that a woman would do much better, while for you look for money.
True.
So we can just assume that, and we don't leave out the points, because remember, you must look for as many points as possible. However, it should only be points which make sense to the question requirement. Don't force points outside the passage. That's why our title starts with the roles.
Okay, sir. Thank you. That's what I wanted to find out.
You're welcome. Now, because we are 4 minutes into another lesson, I will assume that the rest can ask their questions on WhatsApp. They can reach out on WhatsApp. We can be able to share from there. Other than that, thank you so much. The question that you're going to do, which I'm going to set under assignments, is to make for me a rough copy and a fair copy. Then you take clear photos, you scan them, and you send to me. That's what I will mark over the weekend, and then I will share with you next Friday. God bless you all. Thank you for attending. Mr. Dumba.
Yes, Teacher Larry.
Sorry, I forgot even that time had gone. I have entered into another person's lesson.
Thank you so much for the lesson.
Those who want my number, just a minute, I'm dropping it here before Mr. Dumba closes us out. Okay, my number is there for those who want to reach out. Okay, that is it, Mr. Dumba.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Teacher Larry, I didn't hear the number well.
I've posted the work. My number is just here. Someone wanted it, so I posted it for them. Oh, okay, I've only posted to Liam. Sorry, let me change the format. I've only posted to Liam. Everyone, just a minute. Everyone, 0775215855. Okay, not now to everyone, not just Liam. All right, thank you so much.
It is 0775215855.
Yes.
I hope that was clear.
Yes.
Okay, have a nice
day, sir.